What's up, all you crazy capitalists and you witty whiskey enthusiasts? Welcome to the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast. I'm Ian.
And I'm Shawn.
And make sure you go like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment below. If anything you want to have said or talk about, discussed, you think we're not hitting the right points, just let us know down below. Just don't, tell us we deserve the death penalty. That's always a good way to start.
Great way to start the show.
Yeah, exactly. Go to solo.to/thewhiskeycapitalist for all of our links and ways to stay up to date with us. And make sure you hit up bit.ly/thewhiskeycapitalist merch to check out our fully stacked merch store. We got some new items in there. And as Shawn is showing right there, he's doing his best Wayne and Garth impression by wearing all of our shirts. Totally, it's not like a corporate but anyways, guys, we really appreciate you guys joining in. And okay, then you deserve the death penalty. Glad you're starting it off right there, Trevor.
Yeah, that's how we gotta get the show started every time.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way that we can do it. All right, cool. So, what do we? Oh, yeah, we should do the intro, right? We should
intro first, and then we decide what topics we're gonna do.
Right. I'm dumb. Here we go.
Who else in the level curve say yeah?
Look at that big, juicy booty.
Hot like a tamale.
Be offended.
Do you love black people? Do you grow?
You know the thing.
Here, next.
Don't be rude. You ain't black.
Good. Shawn Cav.
You're going to have a flame coming out of your butthole.
Heartfelt.
A man and a woman.
All righty. So something that I forgot in the intro, in our little speaking intro is what we're going to be talking about. So tonight we're going to be talking about Queen Elizabeth II dying, who evidently, according to some people on the internet, is the Queen of the UK. We're going to be talking about the reaction that's kind of gone around in the world and on the internet, the memes, and just how it usually turns out. And then we're going to be talking about Nick Rekieta and a discussion that he had with a guy named Duncan MacLeod, who is Duncan Can't Die on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter and all that. And we'll kind of get into that. It was about a lot of the stuff that's going on with Keffals, who's a trans activist on Twitter, and just basically bottom of the barrel garbage human, for not having anything to do with her being trans. It's just the way she acts and the way she decides to live her life is kind of disgusting and reprehensible. So we'll get into that and play some clips of the Rekeita, the debate and the discussion that he had, because it was hilarious, and we love Nick Rekieta over here.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. I mean, I tuned into this one as well, actually, because I just recently started watching Rekeita Law since you recommended it me.
You're welcome.
And yeah, it's worth watching for sure. It's interesting because I mean, you said the guy is a lawyer.
Yeah.
So he just kind of drinks some whiskey and talks lawyer type things.
Yeah.
and it's just nuts. I don't know, it's pretty interesting. I don't know, I enjoy it. It's entertaining for sure. I think that'd probably be a great one to kind of get started with. The cool thing about Rekeita that I found, because I started watching him during the Derek Chauvin trial, and then the Rittenhouse trial. Rittenhouse is really when I started watching his full episodes, not catching clips or whatever. And he did it during the Johnny Depp trial also, which is how I learned about all that. But he just basically fucking starts at 7:30 in the morning before they get going, and then streams for 10 hours, over for the whole court case, and streams everything, gets a live stream from, Law and Crime or Sky News, wherever. And then he uses StreamYard, which is kind of the influence that I had to give you to kind of look into it. And, he'll have 10 lawyers or 10, internet personalities or whatever on the side. And then they'll be watching the stuff and just kind of comment on it, give legal reasonings of why this was a good or a bad objection. So there's jokes and it's comedy, and it's fun, dumb dick joke humor here and there, but there is a lot there are a lot of there we go. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. There are a lot of kernels of legal information and education, it's educational to a point as well. So, and then his night streams are just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I couldn't imagine streaming for 10 hours straight. I don't know, the cotton mouth and just kind of running out of things to kind of talk about. He's obviously going to have plenty to talk about because he's doing something while streaming. So he's watching the court case. So then that gives him lots of fodder to just kind of keep on going.
Yeah, exactly. So he has things to talk about, and he also has 450,000 subscribers. And if you watch his night shows, what he usually does is for the first 30 minutes, he's reading super chats. So anyone that sends him a super chat, $5, 20, but whatever, he'll read them and then kind of discuss that little thing. And he's good with rants, and he's good with toasts. I don't know if you've watched him enough to see him do a toast for someone. They'll be like, hey, can you do a toast for my brother, or just got out of the military, or for my grandpa just died, this or that, whatever. I'll stock up on my adult diapers. Yeah, that's a good idea. No, but he's really good at it's on the fly little toasts that are dude, that's actually poetic. What do you this fucking drunk ass small town lawyer.
Sometimes poetry comes out when you're drunk. You just can't help it. It just kind of you just say the right thing.
Yep.
So if he's good at doing that, then good for him, man. That sometimes I just end up slurring all my words together and I form new words.
Yeah, exactly. So hold on one
If you missed
second.
Nick Rekeita's
Shut
show
up!
last
Get out
night,
of here with
Nick-
the ads. All right. Yeah. Okay. So while that's going over the ads, let's bring this up real quick. Okay. Oh, that wasn't an ad. Let me see.
Are these just clips, highlights?
Yeah, these are basically highlights Divinity Said is a channel that is in the law tube, whatever you want to fucking call it. But
gotcha.
But yeah, so she basically just clips out like parts of the different streamers on YouTube that are in the law verse. Like there's Good Logic, there's Potentially Criminal, there's Rekeita Law, obviously, Law of Self-Defense. Andrew Branca, he's really good on self-defense and cases of kind of like the Rittenhouse stuff. That's why he was involved there.
Okay.
But yeah, he has a lot of cool people that are involved with his channel and stuff. Let me see. Cool. All right, so we'll get into this right now. Here's the yeah. There we go. Cool.
Over your shoulder.
Charity, she got them puberty blockers.
How do you know? She says HRT.
No, because giving a 12-year-old HRT, hormone replacement therapy, giving a 12-year-old cross-sex hormones,
what's that?
Is actually dangerous, medically dangerous. That's
pause this real quick.
Give it
pause this real quick, Ian.
What?
I just wanted to pause this real quick because this is very meta. These guys are giving commentary. We're giving commentary on these guys giving commentary on something. So it's whoa. Yeah. This is extra.
It's fucking extreme shit, bro. Wow. No, okay. And real quick, I'm glad you said to pause it because I want to kind of explain. Okay, so obviously Rekeita is the guy on the top. Duncan MacLeod, Cuck MacLeod. Duncan McCuck is the one who is trying to basically what happened with Duncan is the reason why he came on the stream is because earlier on in the week before the stream happened, Duncan was going on Twitter, tweeting at Team YouTube and at YouTube saying to ban Rekeita for what he was saying about Keffals, which is a trans activist. So he was basically saying, I want to take away your primary source of income. Yeah. I want to ban you off the fucking internet because of words. And because I don't like the words that you said, which that's some cuck behavior right there.
The words that you chose to use, I didn't agree with. So therefore, you don't deserve to have an income. You don't deserve to be able to pay your bills. You have to find another job or find another way to make money and stuff like that. Which to me is just I don't like it.
The words that you said hurt my vagina.
Yeah, basically. It's the thing that always bothered me is I don't like anybody fucking with somebody else's money. You might not like the person, might not like what they stand for or anything like that, but when you start fucking around with somebody else's job or somebody else's income, to me, you're crossing a line. You're crossing a very, very serious line there. And I don't like doing that when it comes to restaurants or bars or anything like that. I don't like doing that with businesses necessarily, just in general. I just why would you want to do that? And then when it comes to someone like a personal thing and that guy has a job that maybe I don't like him personally or him or her personally, why would I go and fuck with their income even though I don't like them? To me it's just just leave them alone.
And also there's a complete difference between telling other potential customers the truth about that business or what they do or their methods or the way they treat customers or something like that. Like your experience that you had with the AutoZone with that dude, that we were just talking about. I'm sure you would be like, hey, anyone else going in there, this guy, this situation happened, just kind of like what you were doing, bringing it up on, anyone listened to our fucking Twitter space and went to that same AutoZone, they'd be like, oh, well, I heard that already. But you're not saying, hey, fire the guy. You're not saying, hey, that guy should be deleted from the fucking planet. You know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't do that because I don't like the guy and I'll never give that business any more money. But the fact is that, I'm not saying you need to fire this guy because he was so inconsiderate. He was an asshole. That's dumb. No.
And the reason why Duncan was saying that was because Nick said that if you are giving HRT, so hormone replacement therapy to children,
it was puberty blockers or something.
No,
like that,
it was
right?
HRT.
HRT.
So
okay.
that's where this. I'm going to start rewind this a little bit, but that's where this. So basically, the whole premise of the reasoning why was because Duncan thought that Rekeita was saying puberty blockers, and Rekeita was saying no. I'm saying the words that came out of Keffals' mouth. That's saying that it was HRT.
HRT.
If you're giving HRT to children, you should get on the wall. And so Duncan's trying to say, I know where that term came from, and blah blah, you know what you meant, and blah blah. And he's like, well, you don't even know what I meant. You're making an assumption of what I meant by that fucking term.
And the funny thing is, like, when he was saying that, like, I was waiting to see what Rekeita's like response was going to be to the whole thing, because like it's like, how do you respond to that? And he lawyered up on that very much, like, well, tell me what I meant by that. Yeah. Like what, like, you use the words, you say what you think I meant by that. And like that was just him lawyering up on the whole thing. And like I don't think somebody who had that kind of a background or would know how to manipulate the conversation like that, or like would have been able to do that. Do the same thing in the moment, at least. Like, he knew how to direct it. Yeah, and that's the thing too. And so Rekeita, and one of the funny things also about it is, obviously, like we were talking about, Rekeita, he drinks while he streams. He, people in the chat will be like, hey, here, take a shot, this or whatever. He did a whole fucking stream where he was drinking military special alcohol, and they for every dollar amount or for every view count or whatever, he would do another shot. So it was like military special tequila and military special vodka, like 4 or 5 different ones. And you could see he was visually like, this is fucking disgusting. But he drinks a lot. He'll go for 6 hours at night. He'll start at fucking, 11 p.m. or 12. I guess it would be midnight for you. And go until 6 a.m, like, just because he's hammered and just fucking talking about shit and whatever. So he has a tolerance for it. And so what he said about this, like, after this whole debate or whatever, was saying that the reason why I was drinking is because I knew I had him. Like, he was like, if I'm drinking during a debate, I don't care. I either don't care about the debate, or I know that I have this guy fucking on the wall. Like, if I'm not drinking during the debate, that means that I am worried about my ability to debate this person. So anyway, so I'm going to rewind this a little bit, and so you can kind of, now that you have a little bit more context, guys. Let me see.
Your shoulder.
Charity, she got them puberty blockers.
How do you know? She says HRT.
No, because giving a 12-year-old HRT, hormone replacement therapy, giving a 12-year-old cross-sex hormones,
what's that?
Is actually dangerous, medically dangerous. Like, that's
is it medically fucking dangerous to give a 12-year-old HRT? Because
you have to block hormones before you start giving people cross-sex hormones.
So
otherwise,
wait
you're
a
have
minute.
An absolute hormonal.
So wait a minute. Your problem with my statement of taking Keffals at their fucking word and saying, if you give HRT to children, you belong on the fucking wall. Your statement was fucking wrong, and my statement was legitimately correct, that I don't want people giving HRT to children, right?
Yes, but then
God, why are we even here anymore?
But then I asked you, but are hormone blockers, and you said they're the same thing. I said, what about hormone blockers? And you said the same thing again.
I said, I don't remember what Keffals said. But that's because I was drunk.
You've said multiple times.
At least he can admit it.
Out of this like a fucking
I'm not
pussy.
losing out of anything.
Yes, you are. Listen to me. I said I read Keffals' words on stream. No, fuck.
Okay, real quick, I'm going to pause that because I fucking hate when people doing that. It's like, no, you don't get to be a little fucking bitch and bitch out on what you said, because you obviously said some shit that was wrong, and you've been a little fucking cunt about shit, so I'm going to call you on it. And if my passion and me calling you on it offends you, don't take a breath. You should calm down, blah, blah. You're being even more of a pussy now.
Yeah, this guy, he was playing, like, trying to play the cool card. I'm not going to let this guy get to me or this and that. I mean, like, I don't know. I think Rekieta was a little extra in the whole thing, but I think he was right. He was right in the entire time. So therefore, he's just kind of like, hey, I can go off on this guy because I know I am 100% correct in this argument, and this guy's got nothing. And then when we haven't gotten to the part yet, but when the Duncan guy hits the mute button, like on Rekeita.
Okay, yeah, let me explain a little bit about that. So basically, a couple of days before this was when Duncan was trying to get Rekeita banned, right? And then 2 days later, then he DM'd Rekeita to speak about this issue on Rekeita's show, because Rekeita has obviously a way bigger audience than this fucking dunce does. And so in his mind, he was basically like, oh, I can go on his show and I can fucking own him, blah, 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 whatever. And it's like, so wait, you want this person to be removed, but then you want to come on their fucking show? Like, what is that shit? And so they agreed. And it was a fucking cuck little fucking beta bitch way to like to say, oh, I know you don't like having people on your show that have a differing opinion than you, like one of those fucking kind of DMs or whatever. And he's like, nah, dude, I disagree with people all the time. Like, it's no big deal. Like, fine, you can come on the show. And then so it was supposed to be on Rekeita's channel, on Rekeita's show. And then he was basically, what he was trying to do was trying to stream on Twitch, like on his own channel, while this was going on, and never said anything to Rekeita about it. But the only reason why Rekeita knew was because his chat, the way that Twitch works, is your chat comes up on your screen, and he was using OBS and that to go on the screen, so he couldn't figure out a way to get just his camera and not the chat feed coming in over onto Rekeita's onto StreamYard, because he didn't know how to use StreamYard. So that's the only fucking reason why he knew. And then he had to like basically say like, oh yeah, I'm on, I'm streaming on my channel too. So the whole fucking time he's trying to piggyback off of it. And what I think is great is that a lot of Rekeita's viewers went over to his fucking Twitch stream and just started blasting him the whole time. Like, you're a bitch.
Yeah, and like he was, I think Rekeita even acknowledged that too, where he was saying like he didn't want the community, because like people say like they get like owned when it comes to the comments or this or that. Like, so he was trying to say like, listen, like I had this guy, I didn't need the assistance essentially from the comments, but like he didn't want the comments to scare this guy away either. He wanted to be able to sit there and have this debate, have the conversation, make it very clear that like, listen, you don't know what you're talking about. You're arguing with me over something that you obviously have no like basis in fact on this. Like there's nothing that you can go off of to try and like prove me wrong. And like it was interesting. It went for, I think almost like an hour and a half of them, or 2 hours of them talking.
It was like 3 hours of them discussing stuff. Oh, wow. And then Rekeita did another 3 hours after that, just being drunk and being pissed off. Be like, this fucking idiot. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. And the fact that the guy had the balls to try and like stream it at the same time. Again, he was piggybacking, like you said, trying to like, get some viewers, but he was also trying to get his audience to back him up. That's essentially what that whole thing is. So therefore he didn't want to go against Rekeita and all of his viewers. He wanted to have his viewers also on there to try and be like, oh no, we love you, Duncan, this type deal. So it was just kind of like almost like, I don't know, internet gang warfare.
What I thought was interesting too, and kind of peculiar, was that at the beginning of this whole thing, he was saying, oh yeah, Rekeita was like, oh shit, I totally forgot. Like I didn't put your credentials and your stuff in the description so people can go like follow your content and whatever. So it wasn't like he was like hostile towards this guy, even though he was trying to take away his whole fucking livelihood. But it wasn't like he was hostile. He was like, the way we're going to start this is I want to get to know you, and then we can kind of talk that way, and then we can kind of like maybe 20 minutes, something like that, and then we can get into your disagreements with me, or what's going on. And then within fucking 3 or 4 minutes of them starting to talk, then Duncan comes in, well, let me find out what you think about this. And it's like, okay, so being cordial is out the fucking window. But right. So he's like, let me put your stuff in the description. And Duncan's like, no, you don't have to do that. Like, I don't think our audience is going to cross over, like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, but you're streaming to your, what? And you don't think that anyone that listens to Rekeita is going to maybe disagrees with him on this issue and might agree with you. So you might get some fucking viewers out of it. Right.
Yeah. We don't have to go through and show this entire clip, but what we can do is like just kind of like tell people to go and check out Rekeita Law for sure, and go and like, if they want to see the full debate, they totally should, because I mean, like the whole Keffals thing, like this is about like Kiwi Farms, right? Like because like she was being like attacked
human anyways, but right, she's trying to go at Kiwi Farms because because Kiwi Farms is basically a forum where people like just talk shit.
Okay, I'm not familiar with what Kiwi Farms was. I had the idea that that's basically what it was. That it was basically just like another kind of like Reddit, like a forum type, like website
type shit.
Yeah.
And so what's funny is Rekeita's like, dude, like I have I have a link or a forum on Kiwi Farms it's about me. It's not from me. It's about me, and I don't care. The way that people don't know about it is because I don't fucking talk about it, and I don't care. And Duncan's like, "Oh, have you been doxxed before?" He's like, "Yeah, I got doxxed 5 times in a row, and I'm pretty sure it came from there, but I don't care. Like it's the internet. That's you're welcome to the fucking internet, idiot. Like that's what happens. People talk shit about you because you might have a take that they don't agree with, but they shouldn't be banned, But anyways, okay.
Yeah, that's the world we live in now. Well, and it sucks. It sucks that's what things have turned into. But what can you do? Like you said, you just kind of have to keep moving forward.
Yeah, the internet is just a representation of real life. Like real life is like that. People talk behind your back and talk shit about you no matter what. But now you can put it on a fucking screen and everyone can read it. So. But
then that's when when the doxing thing starts happening, it's like I don't obviously we don't agree with that type of behavior, but like I don't know, it's just stupid. It's just dumb shit that the internet has turned into where it's like, all right, now go and find this guy, and then like you're talking about like harassment and like bothering people's families and stuff. That's something I can't stand that.
And usually the ones that are very against it and talk about it, and like, activisty, against doxing stuff are the ones that would immediately dox if someone says something to them that they don't like. So
yeah, that's the problem with it. They use it as a nuclear weapon almost.
Yeah, it's kind of like they, with the whole libs of TikTok thing and Taylor Lorenz, that fucking Washington Post thing.
And that's still going.
Crying about it and blah, blah, blah. And the first thing she fucking does to libs of TikTok and her family is fucking dox. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'll listen to a little bit more about of this real quick.
Okay.
Unless you had something.
I was just going to add something real quick about the Taylor Lorenz thing and the libs of TikTok. Apparently that's still going where Taylor Lorenz just recently messaged the libs of TikTok account and saying like, "Oh, hi Chaya," and then like just trying to be like, letting her know that there was this like article coming out. And it's all about like far right commentators and activists. And she said, "You're not in the article as one of these people, but you're listed as one of the shared accounts that's constantly being used by these other accounts or whatever." Yeah. So like again, it was just to kind of like throw her name out there like in a negative piece. That's all it was.
And two things about that. Before Taylor Lorenz, no one knew that was the name, the first name of the owner of the Libs of TikTok account. And two, the only reason why she did that is because she got called the fuck out by everyone saying you never because she did a bunch of articles about Libs of TikTok and did all this stuff, but never tried to get in touch with them for comment, which is journalism 101, dude. So, anyways, it's just like the Project Veritas stuff. Like Project Veritas shows them shows the person who made the statement in the video with their own words, by their mouth, saying it. But then other journalist fucking outlets just say a source close to the set, and it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, and that's where James O'Keefe was literally just saying like we hold Project Veritas to a higher standard of journalism, and they're like, how so? Like, well, because the articles that we put out, you actually see the person saying the things that they said that we claim that they said, because it's not a claim, it's fact. They said this.
Crystal Matthews shit.
Yes, the Crystal and the fact that Crystal Matthews doubled down. I'm sorry to do a tangent, but she doubled down on it and she said, "Yeah, I said it," and then she's not denying it. She's like, "Yeah, no, I said all that stuff because it's true." And then like the medias are just like, "Well, how could you say that about white people?" It's like, well, in this type of business, being a black woman, it's like, all right, now she immediately went to the race card because like it's the only way to kind of like divert it away from the fact that she was saying all these negative things about white people. But
yeah, it's just for with Martin Luther King going back and all that stuff, like there's don't see color, there's no we're all equal, this is the whole thing we're doing. And now because they're not able to have that leg up in the fucking social justice or offended fucking conversation. Now they're like, no, we're gonna go back to like recognizing color. Like, you know what I mean? Like now it's a skin color thing, and it's like because now
that's because the woke progressivism went full circle from like we're gonna do everything to prevent racism, and then like it came back around like, well, we're going to just go right back to racism essentially. Like that's just like what the anti-racism became racism.
Yeah, it's like you're racist for noticing color, and then we were like, okay, cool, so we're colorblind, and then they start noticing color, but you're still racist because we recognize color, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
If you won't acknowledge it, you're racist.
And you're like, but you told me not to fucking. What the fuck, dude?
I know. We should just make a collage of all the time Stephen Colbert said, "I don't see color." Remember all those like the videos from like the Colbert Report? Every single I don't see color. I don't see color.
Or like
he said that like, every freaking time.
Being in fucking blackface and then saying, "Oh yeah, we're not racist." Fucking retards. Fuck. And then Trudeau, that fucking cuck.
All right, let's go to some more of this clip.
No, fuck you. Listen to me.
Just calm down,
there's
dude.
no taking back.
It's
Listen to me. You are fucking gonna. You're gonna try and do this all day. Look, I've read this about you. You go. You try and make arguments without backing it up. I'm backing it up right here.
No. You took that from one of your viewers.
No.
I thought you didn't like lolicons.
I don't like lolicons. I think lolicons belong on the wall. Everyone who reads lolly should be put on the wall too. By the way, you said I should be removed from YouTube for my opinion. I should be removed from everything. I said in that clip, I read Keffals' fucking words, and now you're telling me, well, Keffals is too fucking retarded to know what she was talking about. She must have said something different. But I don't see anything different.
I asked you if
I didn't assume fucking shit. I said if Keffals is granting access to life-changing drugs to children without parental consent, then it's an if-then statement. Then she doesn't belong on the wall, does she, motherfucker?
Dude, you are so mad.
I'm upset.
Oh, I'm so mad.
Okay, I love two things about that. For one, his use of motherfucker might fucking rival Sam Jackson. Okay, it might rival it. And for two, he doesn't. He's like motherfucker. And for two, his the only response isn't an actual point. It's wow, you're mad. Yeah, dumbass, because you said some stupid shit. Fucking great.
Be offended.
You want to remove my primary source of income. You want me dead in the streets because I have an opinion
dead in the streets?
that
When did I say
disagrees
that?
with you.
When did I say I wanted you dead in the streets?
Where do you want me to make money?
Degree, bro.
Where am I allowed to make money? Where am I allowed to make money?
Are you not a lawyer?
Where am I allowed to make money? Can I be a lawyer with my opinion? Because your friend Keffals wants me disbarred. In fact, I think you do too.
Oh, yeah.
You want me disbarred? Why?
Well, you were calling
opinion. What thing have I done that is a disservice to my clients worthy of disbarment?
Well, I'm pretty sure that calling for violence is worthy.
I didn't call for violence.
I think
you think. Where did I call for violence? Name the fucking words, motherfucker. You're fucking bitch. You're sitting here. You're like, he's calling for violence. Where did I call for any violence against anybody?
You're very upset.
You're very upset as a nice pope and a dilation. I know for your new trans vagina. But talk to me about what I said where I called for a single act of violence against someone.
Saying you belong on the wall was definitely, and we've spoken.
Where?
Talked about
Who's going to do it? Who's going
so
to
great,
do the violence?
One of the transphobes who tried to get Keffals shot when they had someone point a gun in her face.
Tried to get Keffals shot when they had a gun in their face.
Who tried to get Keffals shot?
No, I don't think so. Search warrant, right? And exercise a search warrant. That's not a swatting.
Also, I don't give a shit if I've accused Rekieta Law of a crime and he's having a bitch fit over it. Doesn't bother me. I don't fucking care.
Here we go.
Boxing match? Like, is that what's going to make you feel?
Who talked about alpha and beta and boxing and physical violence? What the fuck are you?
You're a little bitch. Is that not what
when you mute your opposition because you don't like what they say, you're being a fucking bitch.
I was muting you because you were just screaming. I'm not interested in a conversation where I get interrupted and then somebody screams.
You will get all the time you want.
It's great because like every every single of his like leftist fucking talking points, and then they like go to ad hominem attacks and they like say all this shit. Rekeita's like, nope, you're not gonna get away with that shit. Like, I'm not gonna let you say some stupid shit. And there was one point at the very end before he got because the whole fucking Duncan was saying like during the end he was saying like, oh, my wife's texting me to go to bed, like blah, blah.
I know, he kept on saying that. I have to go, like,
yeah, exactly.
Then fucking leave, dude.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you just tell your wife, hey, I'm in the middle of a discussion right now, can you fall asleep by yourself? Like, is that okay? Like, can you do that? Because I mean, that's why do I need to cut? You know what I mean? And so he kept saying that shit. And then so he was like, well, aren't you a lawyer? Aren't you like saying all this stuff? Like, oh, you're probably you're just like a strip mall lawyer. And Rekieta was like, like 97% of lawyers are strip mall lawyers. And so he goes, oh, well, I didn't know that, but
you learned something today.
Yeah, exactly. And then Rekieta goes, you have an even bigger own on me. I don't even have an office. I'm a lawyer out of my basement. So he's like, dude, I don't care. There's nothing that you can say to me as an ad hominem that is going to get me. Like, this doesn't matter. Like, when they're talking about the points that you're fucking talking about, you have no leg to stand on. He
owned everything. And it's like, and that's the one thing you can't nobody can get to you and nobody can touch you if you can already like exactly what they're going to say and you just own it. Like, yeah, whatever. I'm
kind of retarded.
Exactly.
To everything that Duncan said, this was Rekieta.
How about no?
He's like, no, that's not going to happen. It was great.
You get nothing.
That's it.
Yeah, it was absolutely great, dude. And like because Keffals is a fucking professional victim, dude. Like that's what
I've gotten from like, there was a lot of news articles about her and like, or whatever. I don't know. Like it was a dude that transitioned to a girl, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Cause I don't follow all this. So whatever the pronouns they use or whatever, but like, was it like I was trying to follow it and like they were getting attacked online by I don't know who, like I guess it was like the Kiwi Farms people, and this was like, was this in Canada too, right?
I think she was in Canada and now she's in the UK. She
had to relocate because it was feeling so threatened and this and that. Raised like $500,000 or some shit like that.
So basically, what happened is Keffals has been doing this for a while, and Keffals had. The reason why Kiwi Farms went after her, whatever.
I know it's tough.
Tough. I don't. It's fucking confusing. So don't fucking at me, whatever, or do. I don't give a fuck. But yeah. So basically, Keffals has been doing dumb shit like this for a while, where she just goes and tries to get people removed, or she did it to Destiny, who's a lefty commenter who basically started a lot of the political side of Twitch. That's where Hassan came from. That's where Vosh came from. That's where a lot of these lefty socialist, type streamers came from. And so basically what she did, what Keffals did is, was saying that, so she started this thing called Catboy Ranch, which was a forum that was talking literally to minors about giving them HRT or giving them homemade hormones for transitioning, like gender affirming hormones.
Fuck, I mean, like
made out of
anybody with some kind of common sense would tell you, hey, don't be trying to mix shit from under the kitchen sink to try and like block puberty or something like that. That just feels like it should be a common sense thing, or like maybe this is just a lack of parenting in general, just to be able to not tell kids like, hey, you know what? Don't do that. Don't do these types of things. But instead, like these kids, they look up to like these streamers or whatever,
influencers,
and like
all that. Yeah,
the influencers, they look up to them, and it's like either hey, you know what? I want to be like that person. That person's making money just being on, like sitting on the internet talking. But it's like, maybe that's not the person you really want to be looking up to, because they're fucking depraved.
And that's kind of the whole thing. That's kind of the whole thing with that Rekieta was saying, and he even said it with Duncan. He was like, dude, like this isn't. Hold on, I'm gonna take this down because we're good. So basically, what Rekieta was saying to Duncan was like, I don't give a fuck if you're trans. I don't give a fuck what you do when you are 18, which is the age that we have all decided is an adult. I'm not going to debate why or what, but this is the age that we've decided, right? So we're going to go with that. And once you're over 18, make all the fucking decisions you want. Fucking get an addictomy, cut your dick off, chop your tits off, do whatever the fuck you want. But when it comes to kids, but stay the fuck away from kids. Like that is what he was saying. Like, I don't care. He was like, I have trans people on all the time. Whenever they'll come on. Like, I don't care. It's not, it's not about that. It's just about, it doesn't matter what it is. Stay the fuck away.
Because if we want to all have personal choice, that means everybody deserves to have personal choice as an adult, but the thing is, like, kids are the responsibility of the parents, and like, so therefore it's like, if something bad happens to the kid, the cops, the doctors, the lawyers, they don't go after the kids, they go after the parents. They are like, the parents should be responsible for them.
And that was one of the things that Duncan was saying, that he doesn't think that doctors should need parental consent to give them these.
Yeah, and that's also like an Australian thing, and also like UK. I think probably also Canada as well. I don't quote me on that. I think I'm not sure about the Canada thing, but definitely Australia, where like they were allowing kids to get like vaccines and things like that without parental consent at like 14.
Yeah,
which to me is just like, again, disturbing, because like you're not full grown adults. You can't make decisions for yourself or wise decisions for yourself.
Yeah,
and that to me is irresponsible. And as like a medical professional, how could you like morally do that? I thought the HIPAA law prevented you, or not the HIPAA law, but like your Hippocratic Oath. Your Hippocratic Oath prevents you from doing harm to other people. So like, if that this isn't like a normal thing for a healthy human body to do, why would you, allow a child without parental consent to go through anything like that? So that's the biggest problem and the hurdle that we're having right now, because the medical community, when it comes to the trans stuff, is like, they want to be progressive. They want to look to the future and like see like, all right, yeah, there must be this like other type of like, person out there, but like they're not going through it in the right steps. They're not doing it in the right
it's just so ridiculous, dude, because it's like it's like, okay, so you're telling me that kids going through puberty and going through all these things, like they think they're this, they think that it's like, we've talked about that. It's like, when we were going through puberty, didn't you feel like you weren't right in your own body because your whole body is fucking changing?
Of course. Yeah, of course, man. I mean, that's just like, that's like the growing pains of going through puberty in general. You just like, you feel like disgusting. You're just like, you're covered in like acne. You're basically in an ugly puppy syndrome, where like, you're just lanky and like weird looking, and then eventually you get straightened out, but like it takes time. Because that's what puberty is. That your body is getting new doses of these like chemicals, whether it's testosterone, estrogen, whatever your gender is.
You have like an odd like relationship with whatever's going on down there, dude. Like, I had a fucking battle with one fucking pube hair for like a month. I was like, what? Why do I have hair down there now? And so I'd like fucking shave it off and it would grow back. And I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, and so like for a month, I'm like, what is going on here? And then it just started. And then I just, had pube. Like, it was one though. It was fucking one. Yeah. What is this? In my day, pads were things like Guess Jeans and bad music mashups. Nowadays, Fat and Balls cutting twig and berries off.
Yeah. And how sad is that? Because like, unfortunately, this does
phases, right?
Yeah, but this definitely feels like fashion, without a doubt. And like, I can tell you, like, off of personal experience, like when I used to teach kids, like when I worked for like a music school in the area, I thought it was very weird how like a lot of the kids, I would say like maybe like a disproportionate number, maybe like 40% of the kids in the school were like somewhere in that spectrum of LGBTQ type thing.
Which
and
is
to me, like, yeah, I thought that was very, very odd. And a lot of it was coming from like the girl side of it, which I had this thought. I was like, hey, you know what? I think a lot of them are experimenting with the idea of maybe I'm into this, maybe I'm not, you know, so they're trying out to see if they liked girls or not. So like, I could kind of see that or something like that. So it's a growing pain. It was like, it's a phase that they were going through. This would not be the time for a guy to be like, hey, maybe I need to cut this stuff off because maybe I'm a girl. Maybe, like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, to me, it all feels so forced.
It's like in Little Rascals, the He-Man Woman Haters Club, right? Were they all gay?
No,
they were just kids and they didn't like girls because ew, cooties. And then you grow up and you realize, oh no.
Yeah, like, and who was the first one? Like Alfalfa was the first one to get a girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. And then they all fucking were like, oh, you're weird. And it's like, what the fuck?
And then Spanky had a girlfriend. And then all of a sudden now they're a whole group, you know, like they intermingled. Yeah, Spanky.
No, but it's like, dude, like, okay, when I was in middle school, I think there were like maybe like 1 or 2 kids that you were like, oh no, he's gay for sure. But then there wasn't like the experimenting, or it wasn't more widespread until like I got out of high school and like started hanging around. Like, I didn't go to college, but like, you know, hanging around college, you know, people. And like, I lived right down the street from San Diego State, which is a fucking party school. So like, as I was growing into being 18 and like partying and stuff, like the apartment complex that I lived in was like, it used to be families, and then it turned into all college kids because it was right down the street. So it was like kind of perfect. I like grew into like the part. So they were like, oh, let's get this fucking kid drunk. So they'd like get me all fucked up. So I'd hang around all the college kids, and then, you know, I'd see more of it and be like, yeah, it's just fucking real life, you know, whatever. I'm out of school now. And but like, so I don't know if that was times changing or if that was just like, you know, as you get older, there's more experimentation, there's more things like that. And like, do what you do, whatever. But like, don't change kids. Like, let kids fucking grow up. And if you're gonna say this like puberty blocking, that's they just say, oh, you know, you're from like 12 to 18, right? So like those 6 years, that's what they're saying is like okay. And it's like, so what happens then? So you can just block puberty, and then at 18, if they want to actually, you know, be a guy like they were born, then they can just go through it. So you're saying a bunch of 18-year-olds are going to go through fucking getting pubes, balls dropping, and acne, and like all this shit going on now? Like, that's not going to fuck their head up too because they're going through it late? Like, what's going on here? You know?
Yeah, no, and that's a whole nother topic on the thing too. When it comes to like the doctors feeding this false information of saying that like, oh, you can just like stop puberty and then restart it again. Like, you know, science just doesn't work that way. No, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a medical professional, but you know what? I went through puberty, and the fact that you want to try and say that you...
That's a sentence that has to be said. I'm not a scientist, but I went through puberty.
I went through puberty, and you know, to me, it's just like to try and like put the brakes on that is damaging to somebody for sure, because like it's going to screw them up mentally, physically, the whole bit. And then like you can't just like pick up at that point, because like your body grows at a certain rate, so therefore it's like your skeleton structure, everything, like, you know, you reach your peak height and your muscle development, like your bone density, all these things happen in your teens into early 20s, and you're gonna like pause all of that. Well, your body's not going to stop growing. Like, this is all such new technology and new ideas of like medicine that there's been no like long-term studies of any of this type of stuff. We're going to see a lot of really fucked up cases when me and you are like in our like 65, 70 years old, and like then like I don't know. Okay. I think morbidity, one of the something. Let's say mortality. Is it morbidity? I think morbidity would be like the fatness. Like, I don't know, but like I don't know. Anyway,
morbidity is like it is death, right?
Death,
or you know,
morbidity. Yeah, I was trying to go with one of those, but anyway, I think the death rate is going to be ridiculous, especially for like suicide.
I'm a dumbass.
Thank you for that.
Both of us were like, huh?
What? What's going on? It's 10 o'clock on my time. I'm like getting a little like stupid here.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But yeah, well, either way, I think we're gonna see like a lot of like suicides, and like our generation's gonna have a very small population, I think, once we reach like elderly, once we hit our senior ages.
You don't understand the pun that you just made. Okay, because
did I make a good pun?
We're gonna because we're gonna have it's gonna be a small population. Yeah, because you took puberty blockers and now
your vocabulary is terrible. Yeah, I know. It's all kinds of
and
fucked
real
up
quick,
right
I just want to say, see if Ian will eat these edibles. If you want to have a fucking crazy ass conversation about the trans, the puberty blockers, all that. Yes, we'll do that. You know what we should do? We should have a fucking edible stream or like a stone stream. I don't know if you can do that, but that'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, like, I could totally do one, but like, I'll be a fucking mess.
Do you smoke or do you do any of that?
Sure. I mean, like, not on a regular basis, but I mean, like, if I get a hold of something, like, yeah, like, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't smoked in a year, like I was saying on the fucking Twitter space, and went on a long tirade of that whole story. Sorry about that, kind of. But yeah, man, like I've thought about like, you smoke a little joint here and there, do something, smoke a little bong load or something. But like, I think that'd be kind of fun, have like a stoner stream.
Yeah, it would probably make me sound a lot smarter.
or at least as long as if the rest of the audience was smoking the whole time, like, yeah, bro, like he makes so much sense.
Well, yeah, everybody else needs to be high. All the viewers need to be high too. It's the only way it works.
yeah, exactly. And then anyone that just happens to like come up, like fall over onto our stream, they're like, the fuck are these idiots talking about? yeah, exactly. I'll go to like watch it back when like cutting it up for clips or something, and I'm gonna be like, dude, I don't want to put this out.
Yeah, let's just burn this episode.
Yup. Dude, okay. This right here, if two dudes can do it, is it a dildo or is it a schlong video on YouTube? I think a stoner stream is stoner steam is pretty tame. Yeah, have you seen that?
I saw what Crowder shared. And
oh my god,
it was disturbing. I'm like, the fact that is on YouTube and it's not even like protected with like an 18+ or anything like that. It's just kind of like in the open for like, kids or anybody who stumbles across it.
Yeah, and it's goes to the point of
sodomy. Yeah,
it goes to the point of the of Rekieta and what he says online, the whole YouTube thing. It's like, dude, like. That whole conversation with Keffals and like talking about all the get on the wall and like all that stuff is not even the most ridiculous shit that he talks about on his show. Like that fucking unbreaded segment that he does. Jesus Christ, dude. Like, I mean, I just watch his stream a lot of the times. Like, I don't even like really care about the topics. Like, he'll talk about some shit here and there and what, haha, funny. But I'll wait to start the stream till later so I can fast forward through it and I can try and get to unbreaded first because okay, if you guys don't know what unbreaded is, you need to go look it up because it is absolutely hilarious. Like, it's basically about this guy Matt Harris. He was a philosophy major. I don't know exactly. Like, obviously, Rekieta will explain it better. But he was a philosophy major from Duke University, I believe, and then he got a job at UCLA. As a professor, and he basically what happened is he really liked, or he wanted to fuck this like blonde white chick, right? And she turned him down and started fucking a Jewish guy and fucking an Asian guy. So he took and put his manifesto. It's over 800 pages about black people and what they should do to the rest of society and how they should be treated and how they should act. So Rekeita like came up on this and he like uploaded 300 videos in one day to YouTube. Like, dude, it is fucking ridiculous, right? And so in this, and then he got arrested because it was like death threats towards those teachers, whatever, and blah blah blah. And then so when Rekeita stumbled on it, he was going through the manifesto. He got a copy of it, and every night he does like a little randomizer and then reads one page, whatever, random page or whatever from that, and does it. And so as he's going through it, he's like, dude, I don't know if I can read this because my melanin level is not high enough for this. And so he went and he did a word search for the N-word. There's like 10,000 in 800 pages, dude. Like it was probably one of the best. You know, when we were watching the
every third word.
Yeah. And so obviously Rekieta, can't read the N-word, so he reads Binger as because from the Rittenhouse trial, the fucking the lawyers. So Binger says this, and so but yeah, no, like how we were watching the thing with movies about Bert Kreischer and the Kool-Aid thing, and they were laughing and like just laughing continuously. Yeah, dude, it might have been a better laugh. Only because it was just Rekieta by himself laughing at how many fucking times that word is in this. It's fucking so great. But yeah, no, it's like it's not even
Nabisco.
I'm not gonna say that other one.
I don't think I should say it. That was like by far the best South Park one, where it's like all right, it's one vowel left or whatever like that, and then it's like, I don't think I should say it. It's like for $10,000 or whatever the hell it was, and I was like, ooh yeah, no, you shouldn't have said that.
No, not at all. So yeah, Trevor has some good ones. We were talking about smoking a pancake, bonging a blitz.
How about new?
Yeah, but yeah, man. Speaking of South Park, all of the South Parks are on HBO Max, and I didn't know that because we just bought the year.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, because we weren't going to be able to watch all the Game of Thrones in a month, or whatever. So we just decided we do that. So now I can watch Game of Thrones, The House of the Dragon, watch all the. I can watch all the Lord of the Rings, so that I can go over to Amazon and try and watch.
They put out a new episode of it, so I guess there are going to be more episodes of the thing. And I'll just say this: I'll keep it really short. That the third episode of the Lord of the Rings thing was actually kind of entertaining. Like it was actually like somewhat decent. Like the first two were just so bad, and like I'm not saying that they made up for any of the bullshit they tried to like push on us, but like. I don't know. At least this one was more entertaining. It had more things happening in it. I don't know. Like all in all, it's still just not a good series. But I don't know. I feel I have to keep watching it just to give updates as to like, hey, this is still not a good show, or like, hey, now it's starting to come together a little bit. And
Wait,
I can say the third episode was a little bit better.
Are you starting to understand my reasoning of why I still watch Marvel shit?
I think so. I think it's starting to come around to me. I mean, like I said, I watched everything up till Endgame, and then after that,
I still haven't watched any of the She-Hulk shit yet. I think what I'm gonna do is wait until it all comes out, and then I'm just gonna watch it all, just get it all over with, because I don't want to fucking. It's not one of those things. Like honestly, Miss Marvel wasn't that bad. Like I thought it was gonna be because Miss Marvel in the comics is actually she is an Arab of Arab descent, and all that stuff. So I thought they were gonna be pushing a lot more woke shit than they actually did in the show. And I watched it, it was pretty good. And like with all the other TV shows, I watched every week, you know what I mean? Like every week that it came out. Mm-hmm. But, with the She-Hulk stuff, it just seems so like, I know that in the comic, She-Hulk was very feminist. He was very kind of, R-rated kind of stuff. Like, she like the amount of like pictorials in the comics where it's like her naked, but like there's like wind things like covering up her stuff. So it was very racy back then, and she was kind of feministy, but it just seems like it's like extra, like dumb feministy stuff. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, but since you're trying to get me to watch all this Game of Thrones shit and fucking,
I didn't make you watch any of the Game of Thrones stuff. I was saying that it's good and you wanted to catch up with it. So I was like, hey, well you should.
Because I have a sneaking suspicion that you're going to be talking about House of the Dragon often because you're watching it. So I figured instead of me sitting there for 20 minutes and letting you just talk, that I'd like be involved in the conversation. So and then talking about the Sopranos and talking about other stuff like that. Like,
yeah, you got to catch up on that stuff, buddy.
See, exactly. So I'm going to watch that. So what I would say to you is you got to catch up on the Marvel shit so we can actually have.
Right, I'm going to watch She-Hulk. She-Hulk.
No, wait on that shit. Watch the other shit. Like start after Endgame. and then just watch all that shit. Yeah, all I know. WandaVision wasn't bad. Honestly, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was pretty goddamn good. There was just some of that woke shit in there with the fucking, Black Captain America, whatever. I mean, I don't got a problem with that because I was in the comics. So really it's fine. But just some of the ways they did it was kind of annoying. They had like the cops tried to come up and talk to Winter Soldier. And then when Falcon came up, they were like, "Oh, are you talking to him?" But kind of one of those things. So there were a couple scenes in there, but overall it was pretty good. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, Loki was really fucking good.
Okay, you can just text me a list.
Yes. Oh, am I annoying you right now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Oh, the patience thing. I forgot. You have 0% of it. But yeah,
no patience.
You have no patience. Thor Ragnarok was great.
I like that one.
That was awesome. The second season of, are you talking about Fuller House?
No, I think he's talking about the one from the 90s, Full House with Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Full House was great. I thought Full House was
season 2 was obviously the best one.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously. With Stephanie, that whole thing with the roller skates. How could you not love that?
How rude. But no, I mean, it's obviously we have our different inclinations as to what we like and whatever, but I think it brings up good conversation about shit, and a lot of the shit's going on. A lot of the shit, that's going on right now is obviously, in the news, and they're trying to interject all of that into the shows. So like we were talking about with the escapism and all that.
Sure.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's true. And Marvel always tries to push any kind of the woke agenda stuff right into the media and whatnot. But yeah, we can definitely touch on some of that stuff. And maybe we'll do a whole segment of just Shawn catching up on Marvel nonsense. Oh yeah, you finally watched that one? Yeah. What'd you think? Tell me about it.
Everything's content now, dude. Okay. We got to do it. Content. No, I mean, and honestly, they didn't really start with a lot of the woke stuff until Captain Marvel and on. Everything before Captain Marvel was pretty just Marvel movies, dude. There wasn't too much of the once she was the fucking oh, you're smile for me and why don't you blah 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 and saying all this stuff. It's yeah, okay, annoying. That's when it started going downhill.
I'm always angry.
Yeah, exactly. She's fighting a chick, and then out of nowhere, I'm Just a Girl starts playing by No Doubt. It's there wasn't even a funny pun or a funny setup where she hit a
fucking joke.
Or she hits a fucking jukebox or something happens and then it starts playing the song. See, that would be funny. But they just started playing the song. What the fuck are you? Come on, dude. Come on, man.
It's not good writing.
Exactly. It's a lot of the things that they're bringing up, some of them have substance, some of them have value to at least speak about. It's kind of like watching stand-up comedy and they make a joke and they talk about something and you're I don't really agree with it, but the way they say it, you're oh, okay, I could see how you could that could be an issue or that could be something to talk about. But when you just blatantly, then you obviously don't know how to persuade someone to think about something a certain way. You know what I mean?
Is this a joke here with the rings of power takes anyone? I mean, I've given my opinion on the previous stream when it came to this one. Basically the first 2 episodes complete shit. And it was such a fucking it was such a waste of time. I was what the fuck am I watching here? And I was under the impression that the first 2 episodes that was going to be the whole series, and I was you got to be shitting me. This is garbage. And then it was just the first 2 episodes of the series. Okay, I was it admonish. Yeah, I'm admonishing myself. I thought it was only 2 episodes for the season, but the 3rd episode was actually pretty entertaining. So therefore, I was kind of all right, I'm into it a little bit there. But go off, sis. Nice.
I don't know. You're great. No, but I mean, it's okay. Just letting you know, there's this thing called IMDb. What the fuck? There's the thing.
This fucking thing is always going off. And it's always listening to me. And I didn't get that. Oh, sorry. What was that? Yeah, I'm like, shut up, God.
No, there's a thing called IMDb where you can look up the list of number of episodes, or if there's one coming up. So before you rage, like, oh my God, you can. Patience.
Yeah, and what the funny is, I tried looking on fucking line to see like, is this a 2-episode thing? I must have checked like 2 links, and I was like, nah, fuck this. This is dumb. Like, because I'm not invested in the fucking like world of Lord of the Rings. I was like, I like the original 3 movies, and then I was like, I'm gonna check this thing out because I thought it'd be kind of cool, and like. Yeah, not so much.
I didn't even know The Hobbit had 3. It was like a trilogy of Hobbit movies. I didn't even know that. I knew there was.
It was dumb.
One. I mean, I don't know, but
it was dumb.
And what sucks too is that the main actor in that, like, I like him. Like, he's been in a bunch of he's played a bunch of other cool roles,
right?
And so it sucks that he, whatever. So yes, movies, they need to include more condemnation of the scourge that is toxic masculinity in every TV show. Yeah, of course, because escapism.
Well, I think we should probably wrap this one up then. At this point, we didn't get to like a lot of the topics we wanted to do today.
Well,
but we can just redo like the description. I think.
You know what? That's what y'all
You're
get.
Breaking up.
To
Go ahead. What were you saying?
That's what you get. Britain and England trying to pull that shit that you did. That's why we had the revolution. We're not going to talk about the Queen. Okay, that was. Yeah, that was just we were just trying to trick you.
that was just to get some clicks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Clickbait. Okay, so
fooled you.
Yeah, gotcha, motherfucker. All right. So
not enough time.
What?
Just not enough time in the night.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, let's pull this up real quick. All right. Just want to say thank you for tuning in to the Whiskey Capitalist podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment down below. Obviously, we're getting off here, so your comments won't really matter right now on the live chat. But yeah, just make sure you comment down below on the regular video, and we'll get back to you. Is YouTube kicking you out? No,
I might be getting kicked out.
Yeah.
Wait, this is a good one too.
Yeah.
2 fucking dudes.
Awesome. I appreciate it, Austin. I cannot say your last name. Not even going to try it. Good one, guys. I'll be watching.
Thank you.
It'll be on Wednesday. And yeah. So, Shawn, do you want to kind of talk about, for one, the Sippin' with Shawn and talk about what we're doing next week?
Absolutely. Well, for next week.
I mean, not next week, on the next stream. Sorry, on Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So for Wednesday stream, we're going to be having kind of a Twitter personality, Pixie, on the stream as well. She's going to be joining us. She is an ex-stripper, now like podcast like guru, where she does all these freaking like Twitter spaces and gets like a ton of people to come and like listen to her speak about like how to market, how to like build your podcast and do all this type of stuff and whatever like that. And like she's like one of those people that just talks to everybody and whatever. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let's just bring her on here because, like, I have a lot of questions about like, stuff that you can't really ask like the strippers like when they're on the job and stuff like that. I would love to know like some like behind the scenes shit like when it comes to like some of like the stripperisms and like just different like I don't know ways that they go about things, or like what they think about people who show up to the strip club in different scenarios and whatnot, like what their preconceived notions are. So like I think that's going to be like a really interesting conversation. Plus, I would really like to get to know her story of going from that world into just like, hey, now I'm just going to be into broadcasting and this is like what I do now. So like, and to kind of like build a career out of that almost. You
don't really see a stripper go from like usually see a stripper go from maybe like the DJ to on the stage. You don't really see like stripper go from like on the stage to the DJ, like the broadcasting.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I think it's going to be interesting for sure. So like that's this Wednesday, 2 days from now. What else? So I was going to mention about like the links and stuff that we're doing. Okay, so the other thing. So we have patreon.com/Sippin with Shawn. That's my personal Patreon page for my other podcast that I'm doing. Which another announcement that we are bringing Sippin with Shawn live streams to the Til Death Podcast Network. We're going to pick a night, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to pick like an evening where I'm going to be doing like a Sippin with Shawn happy hour. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do some streaming and share some videos and hopefully get a few laughs in as well. And just nitpick fucking the internet. That's what commentary is anymore. We nitpick the fucking internet. And so it's gonna be a lot of great stuff. So my show is gonna be on the Til Death Podcast. We got Ian's show, Til Death, the podcast itself, with the Whiskey Capitalist. Yep, you gonna pull that up?
Yeah. So basically, solo.to/Til Death Podcast is the podcast that I have with my wife. It's kind of what started the whole Til Death Podcast network. It was just the Til Death Podcast until Shawn hit me up on Twitter, and we decided to start doing this stuff, doing spaces and doing all that. And now it's a whole network, which is kind of cool. So we're going to be having the Til Death Podcast. Me and my wife, we talk about married shit. We were talking about some political things and all that, but now that's mostly just Whiskey Capitalist. Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're both saving each other's marriages with this podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. Now our wives can be like, good, they can shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she's upstairs watching like The Bachelor or some like dating show right now.
Okay. Real quick, I just have to interject. I was rewatching the one of the last Twitter streams, or when I was doing the Twitter streams content, we were talking about the chick, the Hooters waitress, and we were talking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, and she's gonna get charged with more because when it was that time during the month, she didn't stop doing it, and you can hear your wife in the background go, oh my god. I like had to turn it up and rewind it. I was like, oh, that's good, that's fucking good. But anyway, just had to mention that. But yeah, so solo.to/the Til Death Podcast. That's what we're doing for that. Also, bit.ly/Til Death Podcast merch. We got merch on there as well. Go to solo.to/Til Death Studios if you like any of the visual content, any of the production, anything going on with this, and you'd like to have it going on with yours. Make sure you check out at Movies America or www.moviesamerica.com. That is going to be the other show that we're going to have on. So we're going to have the Til Death Podcast with me and my wife. We're going to have the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast with me and this fucker over here, and we're going to have Sippin with Shawn with just this fucker over here, and then we're going to have Movies America with if you go back through our channel, you'll see we've done a couple shows. We did a mobster movie episode, and then last week we just did the Stranger Things breakdown and predictions and all that. And that's
tons of content. Too much content. You're not going to be able to watch it all.
Yeah, exactly. So we should try a fucking TV channel with all this shit. Try. Yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun, and we'll be able to do that, and we'll have the more ability to have guests and have more content and a lot more things to talk about than just politics and all, because there's other things in life, kind of. But and also just make sure you check out solo.to/the Whiskey Capitalist for all of our links and where to find us and all that good stuff, and go to bit.ly/the Whiskey Capitalist merch to stay up to date with our fully stacked merch store. Got some new designs up there, and I think there's some new designs that we were just talking about potentially doing. So with that, I will sign off, and from movies, fuck yeah, America. With that, we're going to end the stream, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace out.
Later.